This is your one and only 𝐵𝐸ⴄ81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another informational Valheim video. Today we're going to talk about the weapon everyone's been sleeping on, polearms. Let's get to it. So before we get into why the polearms are so crazy strong in this game, I'm going to refer to them as halberds in this because I can't pronounce, well, I have a hard time pronouncing the Atgeir. Apparently that's the Norwegian name or the Viking, Norse, Scandinavian, whatever name for them, but it's essentially the same thing. It's a halberd. So that's what we're going to call them in this video. So I was running some tests the other day and I realized something. The secondary attack with all of these polearms is insanely strong. Now, it does eat up a large chunk of your stamina. If you take a look there, when I do it, it goes past that first bar there. So you can see where the first little divot is there in my stamina. It goes past that. So it chews up a ton of stamina, but that's good. It needs to do that for balance reasons because this thing staggers 16 out of the 26 entities, well, the 26 aggressive entities in the game currently. And it not only staggers them, it staggers them in an AoE around you and shoves them back. Now, it's not the only weapon to do that. The Iron Sledge also staggers everything as well. But the downsides to the Iron Sledge is movement speed penalty. It's a negative 20% movement speed penalty. If we look at all of these, they are all 10%. So the Iron Sledge slows you down even more. So if you're already wearing heavy armor, it's going to slow you down even more. On top of that, it does a max of 55 damage. If we take a look at the bronze halberd, it does 45 damage. That's at level 1, that's not even upgraded. If we move over to the iron, it does 65 and the black metal does 105. The secondary attack for the halberd is faster than just the primary attack with the sledge. And you can take a look here at this side-by-side comparison and see that we are done the full swipe by the time the sledge is done just charging up. So not only does it do more damage, it's faster and allows for more maneuverability. Now, why is this so broken? Well, let me show you. Here is a level 3 goblin. He just realized we're here. Look at how he's staggered. And then we just got in a extra damage attack because we attacked him while he was staggered. We do it again, we knock back, we stagger. Oh, I failed to move forward. Now, you can't really lock them. There seems to be a stagger cooldown, but you can for sure almost lock them. So we can just do that, wait till he comes at us, hit him again, wait till he comes at us, hit him again. And if we get in there, we can actually get in a second attack and we can stop him from attacking altogether. So when I was testing to see what all staggers with this secondary attack, I did all of my testing with the Iron Halberd. So when I was running that test at level 1, the Greyling, Grey Dwarf, Grey Brute, everything you see here on the screen that has a green square beside of it, staggered at level 1. Now, this varies a little bit here because if we spawn in a level 3 falling here, and I use the bronze one on him, you can see it knocks him back, but I don't always get the stun. We did stun him there. We always get the knockback, but we're not always guaranteed a stun. Sometimes it will, sometimes it will not. However, at a level 3 with the iron, after the cooldown is done, because they do, like I said, they do have a cooldown, you cannot stun lock them. You can see that that cooldown is short enough that every time he comes running at me, I can knock him back and keep him staggered. Which means that it will also do the same thing with the black metal because the black metal is a higher tier. So it seems to be that it's based on the amount of damage that's done, and I'm not sure what that damage threshold is. You can see we did 34 there, but it didn't stagger him. That 34.5 did. That 48 definitely did. So I'm not 100% sure on how the mechanic for the stagger works, but the higher the level and the more damage you do, the more you are guaranteed to get a stagger from the things that can stagger. I also do not have my skill maxed here. We're only at 52 and I started doing my tests at level 50. And that makes a difference because that increases how much damage that I'm doing and also how much stamina I am using when I perform said attack. Now, obviously, this is super strong in a 1v1 situation, but it's also super strong in a however many versus one situation. Here we got a group of 4 goblins. All you have to do is kind of round them up and wait till they all come in to attack. I don't recommend doing it. This takes a little bit of practice, but you want to hit as many of them as possible, like so. And you can see you shove them back away from you and do damage at the same time and stagger them to give yourself a moment of breathing room. But if you miss time, you can easily take a bunch of hits. So here we go. We just hit 3, knock them all back. And obviously we don't have any ranged guys in this. So you're gonna have to change up your fighting tactics depending on what you are fighting and what versions of them are in the group. But not only is this super useful for when you're fighting goblins, but it's also really useful for wolves because wolves stun for a lot longer than the goblins do. All right, here we go. We got a bunch of wolves. I'm just going to get them to notice me here. All right, so now they have noticed me and all we have to do, group them up, hit them like so, and then look at how much time we have. Now we would wanna run away, wait till we can get them grouped up again. And once again, timing is a thing here. I'm really bad at the timing, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are way better at the timing than me, but you get the idea. And this is just as strong with the bronze version. So we got a bunch of wolves here. I'm gonna try to group them up and swing. There we go, we hit them all. And then we can just go in and look at that. Look at how ridiculous that is. Oh, obviously, I mean, we gotta be able to actually like be down to hit him. We were like hitting him over top of, or hitting over top of him there. But yeah, like crazy, crazy, crazy strong. And it's almost any situation in any biome for a majority of the stuff you are fighting. When it comes to fighting trolls, this thing is absolutely insane. Here we go with a troll. We hit him, he's stunned. Jab, jab, hit him again, he's stunned. Jab, jab, hit him again, he's stunned. Jab. That was with a level 1 bronze. Now, obviously, it's going to be a bit more difficult if you're fighting a higher level troll, but at that point, you want to upgrade to a better version of this thing. And it doesn't stop there. The secondary attack can also be used to harvest your flax and barley. Super easy. Just do that and there you go, and then you can run around and collect it all. So if you have a massive field of this stuff, you can quickly and easily harvest it without having to run around holding down E. You just do that and harvest large chunks. Now, one word of warning here, and as we talked about earlier, this thing does chew through a ton of stamina. So if you're doing this attack a lot and you don't have any type of anything like the tasty meat or anything like that to regen stamina quickly, you could end up in a very bad situation. So that is one of the biggest downsides to this thing, is that secondary attack just will chew through your stamina. So if you plan on using it, make sure that you are eating a lot of foods that are high in stamina. So like fish wraps, the serpent stew, the lox meat pie, carrot soup. Depending on what level you're on, it's going to vary. So like carrot soup is another good one that's high stamina. Bread is high stamina. Make sure you're focusing on high stamina foods and not high HP foods, because you're going to want as much stamina as possible for whatever stage of the game you are in if you plan on using this. The other thing to keep in mind is, like with all attacks, once you do this, you are locked into that animation until it's done and you are left vulnerable to other attacks. Things will not stagger. Well, most things will not stagger if they're already mid-attack or at you finishing an attack. So if you have a goblin coming at you or a troll about to hit you and they're already almost done their swing is going to finish and you are going to take damage and you're not going to be able to block or dodge and roll out of the way. The other thing is this is two-handed, so get used to not using a shield and you want to get used to dodging as much as possible. If you are someone who focuses on using a shield a lot, this could take a little bit to get used to, because the timing for dodging is a little bit different than the timing for using using a shield. And the last word of warning is before you start to use this, you want to make sure you level up your skill with it a little bit, because as we saw from earlier, it appears that the ability for it to stagger is based on damage. Now, like I said, you always get the knockback, just like when you're using either of the hammers. So whether it's the iron or the stag breaker, pretty much the same speed on the attacks there, you do get the knockback guaranteed, but it's not always guaranteed to stagger unless you are doing a specific threshold of damage. Once again, what that is, I'm not 100% sure. That's going to take some more involved testing, but you can level it up really easy just by poking a rock. And it's even faster if you have a shelter over said rock so that you get the increased stamina regen from having a shelter. And if you are rested as well, you're going to massively increase how quickly you regen stamina. You can see this thing chews through stamina even on the basic attacks, but we just leveled up there relatively easy just by hitting a rock. Okay, and that's pretty much it for this one. I just wanted to make everyone aware of how strong this weapon is. Not only is it high damage, it has a massive AoE, can stagger things extremely easy because of its high damage. I mean, just look at the damage on this thing. And I leveled this one up max, but I mean, 123 damage at max level. Even if it's not max level, it comes in at level 1 at 105 for the black metal. The iron one is at 65. That's a crazy amount of AoE damage. And it's actually higher damage than most other things at the same level. If we take a look at the iron axe, it's 55. Iron mace is 55, but the tier 1 halberd is 65. So you get really high damage, really high AoE damage, the ability to stagger things and be able to hit them with just a few little steps forward while they are staggered after knocking them back. So I highly advise giving this weapon a try if you haven't already. It may take a little bit to get used to, but it's extremely strong. If you found this video helpful and informational, consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. I don't just cover Valheim, I cover all kinds of different stuff, so you never know when I'm going to be covering a game that you may be playing. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. If you like what you saw, consider hitting that sub button. I want to give a big thank you to my patrons for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to join my elite crew of Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like the comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.